Welcome to Ridley Athletic Complex in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight's matchup is between the undefeated Loyola Greyhounds and VCU. Loyola comes into this match with one of the biggest wins in program history, a 2-1 defeat of the Ivy League champs Princeton. The Hounds will look to extend that win streak to 4 tonight. VCU, on the other hand, has yet to win a game at 0-2-2. The Rams, therefore, will be coming in hot. Honored and thrilled to be here alongside my partner, Monica Moore. I'm Jamie Watson. Monica, tell us about our players to watch.
Well, first of all, Mia Pongratz for VCU has been tremendous back in goal, got her first collegiate start in the first game of the season. She has played every minute, and she just gets better and better. A career high 8 saves versus ECU that she is coming off of, and she is going to be huge today for the Rams.
And for the Loyola Greyhounds,
Francesca Cacciatorians, well, you said it. It was a statement win for Loyola against Princeton, and Francesca Cacciatorians had the game-winning goal. For your first career goal, it does not get bigger. No surprise, she is the reigning Patriot League Offensive Player of the Week.
And Monica, let's take a look at our game notes. Tell us about them.
Well, first of all, a year of firsts. 4 out of the 5 Greyhounds earned their first career goal this season in terms of the goals being scored. I love that balance and diversity offensively for Loyola. For VCU, they're looking for their first win on the season. They are very hungry. But if you look up the matchup history, it has been VCU that has been the victor the last 3 times.
The stage has been set, folks. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our starting lineups and kickoff. You're watching Patriot League on ESPN.
For nearly 4 decades, the Patriot League has delivered high academic and athletic achievements in the NCAA while paving a bright future for student athletes. We are today's scholar athletes. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the Patriot League.
Fed Credit Union, we help our members make the most of their personal finances so they can make the most of their dreams.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
The Patriot League on ESPN is on Instagram. Championship moments, amazing highlights, behind-the-scenes coverage, and features on the best and brightest student athletes in the NCAA. Follow us at Patriot League today.
Keep your home's heating, air conditioning, and plumbing systems running smoothly with expert care from Anchor Mechanical. We offer superior HVAC and plumbing services for your home and business. With our Anchor maintenance agreement, enjoy many benefits including regular maintenance that can help catch problems early on, saving you money. Along with our superior service is our superior product. Anchor Mechanical is an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. When it comes to your home, Anchor has you covered.
We do not compete against one another. We compete against time, against an opponent that's remorseless. Not for glory or gold, but because our patients, their families, our communities need more than technology. They need for us to care, fiercely, deeply, bravely.
WB Mason helps you do business. How? By bringing the products you need right here.
You're here?
Yes, I am. Sign here.
Or here. Can you put it there?
Sure.
Here. Or here. Or even here.
And we won't just leave it over there!
And how do we do all this?
With all of these.
The Patriot League on ESPN is brought to you by PenFed. PenFed is the official credit union of the Patriot League. Herff Jones. Herff Jones is proud to be the official championship jeweler of the Patriot League. And the Patriot League. We are today's scholar athletes. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the Patriot League. And let's take a look at our starting lineups. First for Virginia Commonwealth University, in a goal, number 0, Mia Pongratz, who Monica told us about at the top. She's our player to watch. Also, number 10 in the midfield, keep your eye on Yvonne Nguyen. Sister plays at Stanford, the number 1 ranked team in the country right now out of Fairfax, Virginia. And up top, the freshman, number 25, Tatum Chaldone, scored against Virginia Tech when they were ranked number 14. And for your Loyola Greyhounds, your starting lineup in goal, there's been a goalkeeper competition going on tonight. It's Bridget Mulholland in the 1 jersey. Your Patriot League all preseason first team pick, Zoe Willis, will command that back line in front of Bridget Mulholland. And another freshman to keep your eye on tonight. She leads Loyola in goal scoring. It is Savannah Monsay in the 23 jersey. Couple of freshmen for both sides. Keep your eyes out for them.
Jamie, I think you've hit upon one of the biggest storylines in this game. It's the newcomers that have come into these programs and are already leaving their imprint on the season. Just the way that these student athletes now come into the collegiate game, ready to play at this level with the confidence, the contributions that we're seeing. You said it, Savannah Monsay. I think she's poised to be one of the greats in this Loyola program with the way that she executes on the field. And let me tell you, for VCU, you have to be so excited about Tatum Chaldone. She has been huge so far in their lineup, hails from California. And what I thought was so interesting was hearing Lauren Hutchinson, first-year head coach for VCU, talking about her defensive effort in the Elon game. When you come in as a freshman and you perform at that level defensively, good things are going to happen in your career.
Couldn't agree more. We're just about ready to get started. Of course, Loyola is going to be in the all-whites. VCU wearing the dark uniforms. The Greyhounds, Savannah Monsay, 3 goals and 1 assist already on the year for the freshman. And, you know, we don't talk too often as we get into the, where are we, the 4th game of the year, the 5th game of the year. Bailey DeSmit, 16 goals for the Greyhounds last year. The question was, who's going to replace all of those goals? Well, the Greyhounds have scored 6 on the season. They've only given up 2. We talked to Coach Joe Malia earlier. Boy, he's pretty pleased with the way things are going right now.
He is. I mean, it was a question mark in the spring. It was a question mark in the preseason. But Loyola right now is delivering offensively. There are different players getting involved in the mix. I think it's such a good sign for Loyola. They're gelling early on. They look very confident on the offensive end, but they have to continue that scoring wave. And for VCU, they're battle-tested. They've played a very difficult schedule so far. You look at the ECU game, Virginia Tech, Elon. It has been a lot of great competition, not to mention American. And so they're ready for this contest. And as we talked about, they're very hungry, looking for that first win. They've been doing a lot of things really well defensively, even though I know when you look at the score results, it may not always show up in that box score, but they're a very tenacious team when they put the ball under pressure defensively.
Yeah, Loyola as well have played a pretty good, tough preseason schedule. Played Florida Atlantic, William and Mary, and then a huge test with Princeton. And we are underway here in Baltimore, Maryland. Loyola going left to right on your screen in the all-whites. And, of course, you can't miss Monsay in the 23 jersey with the neon green boots.
And you see they're trying to get her involved early on. And I absolutely love it. I love the confidence she's playing with and the confidence that her teammates have in her so far.
I'm just now noticing she's got a wrist brace on, but she's out there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Monsay has been such an integral piece of the puzzle early this year. And, you know, once you get that undefeated streak going, and just the pressure kind of just keeps mounting. And, of course, VCU comes in with no pressure whatsoever. Man, they are hot to get their first victory. not only for the team, but they're for their first-year head coach, Lauren Hutchinson, who is an alum of VCU. She comes in with quite the pedigree, World Cup qualifiers, Olympic qualifiers. What a player for Trinidad and Tobago as well.
I really like what we're seeing out of VCU so far. They're very quick to try to switch sides of the field to change the point of attack. We've seen them do that quite a bit on the game. They're patient with the ball, looking to build from that back line. But they will turn it over there, and that is the second turnover that we've seen from them.
Well, isn't it what we were talking about, Coach Hutchinson? Exactly what she was saying. We just give the ball away too quickly. And they've got something going here as VCU is in the box on the right-hand side, still going, and there's a quick shot and a goal! VCU on the board in the first 5 minutes. They lead 1-0.
That was a beautiful leading ball forward into the offensive third. Such good patience, such good build. I think the thing that you're going to notice the most on this replay is the composure in the box by the Rams. This is what we talked about. They are battle tested. Take another look at that leading ball forward, doing a great job finding Franklin, the cross, beautiful finish. You can't place the ball better than that, Jamie.
I'm telling you, Isabel Franklin hails from Maryland. Parents are probably in the stands. The freshman from Fort Meade gets the assist, and the goal goes to number 7, Jensen Linz. What a start for the Rams.
And I'm so happy to see Jensen Linz on the other end of that. She has 2 assists on the season. She's been a bit more of a facilitator, but talk about confidence for VCU, getting on the scoreboard so quickly. And really, they were under so much pressure in their defensive third. But you just have to be smart with your opportunities. And again, I love that composure out of Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, VCU 11 goals against and only 3 goals for coming in. So this makes goal number 4. And let's face it, you need to put the ball in the back of the net, and they do here in the second minute. We talk about big 5 moments. Well, it's the first 5 and last 5 of each half. Many goals are scored, and we see it right here in this game.
Well, and this wasn't something that necessarily Lauren Hutchinson talked with us about, but I have to imagine that she talked with her team about valuing your opportunities, that you may not get as many as you would love to have against a team like Loyola, who brings back a lot defensively. And so when you get those opportunities, you have to make the most of them. And that's what I really liked about that play. It was just so well executed and a beautiful team goal.
Little hesitant by Mulholland there. She took a few steps on her heels. Needs to be a little bit better with that decision making to come forward and get that ball.
And now you'll see Loyola possess a little bit, working the ball back and forth through their back line. Lots of different players, touches on the ball, but you see they continue to look for Monse up top on that right side, becoming a favored target for the Greyhounds. But Jamie, this certainly changes the complexion of this game for VCU to get on the scoreboard so quickly. I think for Loyola now, they're going to have to show a lot of composure, really tighten things up a bit defensively.
Yeah, not getting knocked back on their heels in the first few minutes. How will the Greyhounds respond?
It's a great tackle. And I know we've talked a lot about Monse, but one thing I like about her is she's playing defense up top too. Sometimes you have those players up top who don't commit as much defensively, particularly as first years, and not seeing that out of her. She is working very hard defensively as well as offensively for the Greyhounds.
Right, we talk about a response. It's the first time Loyola has trailed this season on top of that. So they come in 3-0-1, undefeated, never trailing. And the response will be important here as Castro gets it back to her keeper, Pongratz.
And you see how wide they're keeping those backs for VCU, really trying to maintain this shape, create lots of pockets for the ball to work through as they're stretching things out.
Mulholland plays it over to Willis, who is really so good at distributing from the back. Coach Malia talking about we're happy to build on the ground or we're happy to play direct. It just depends on what the game calls for as Monse takes out Castro, but it'll be a throw for the Rams. And Stella Castro, the senior defender from Leesburg, Virginia. And again, it's actually called a foul, so it'll be a free kick here.
Again, it's that aggressive defense, but I think Stella Castro is one to keep your eyes on. Already has a goal on the season for VCU. Has done a really nice job as an anchor of the back line. One of the more experienced players out on the field for the Rams. They rely on her very heavily. Has quite a skill set.
You mentioned how wide the Rams are getting the heels on the touchline. I'm sure that comes from Coach Hutchinson. That kind of width is how you are able to find, as you said, those spaces through. Castro, once again.
And certainly it makes it a little harder to defend. I think as a defender, you have to watch what your opponent is doing and the way you play in those gaps, and you anticipate on the passes. Really nice ball there.
VCU coming down the right side.
Great combination play from the Rams. Hungry for another chance here.
Keeping it in near the byline, playing it back just to the level 18 on that far side. Now cutting in. And there's your 10 jersey Newen, the Marshall in the midfield for the Rams.
And
guess who?
Unbelievable, Jamie. I love it. She is just the Energizer Bunny out there, really pressuring, not taking a play off, helping win possession back. I thought that was some really good patience out of VCU as they were looking for their moment. But Monse has absolutely stood out in the opening minutes of this game.
We talked to Coach Malia, was kind enough to give us a few minutes, and he talked about Gino Oriema, that the team was watching him give a chat, a seminar, and in it, he said, look, we coaches, it is not our job to teach you how to coach or how to coach effort. That is something that you need to have. And Monse, he said, she has it. We don't ever have to talk with her about effort.
Once again, just some really nice, thoughtful play within the possession by VCU. Advancing the ball forward. And some good defense over on the left side of the field. Mulholland will come out. But this is what Loyola needs to do. They have to be very disruptive with these tackles. That was Peyton Hurley who broke things up for the Greyhounds.
Back to Pongrants we go. The Rams early in this one have dominated possession. Loyola really hasn't had many touches in the attacking phase of play at all.
Big play there by Kennel, who's been active over on the right side, making some smart plays. I like that quick throw she had early on. Very high IQ for Riley Kennel.
All right, a few touches here in the attacking third. See what they can do with it. Good idea to get it to Monse. And then finally cleared.
Good pressure by the Rams. And you see again, it's so smart how they try to push the ball out of where all the defenders are. They switch the sides of the field. This is a very well-coached Rams squad, really understanding what they're trying to do.
And that'll be a Loyola throw. See Kendall Sarver in the 12 jersey. In the 13 jersey, that was Franklin who got the assist as Monse is in the penalty area. Coach Malia talked a lot about we want to put balls in danger, and it's been successful for them.
An unlucky touch there for Kennel, but I have to point out these throws. I think she's done a very good job trying to put Loyola in good positions with these throws in the offensive third. Again, she has such a good IQ, understanding what the best options are for Loyola. And I love how she tries to make the most of those situations and really get something from it while also trying to execute quickly.
That's a good ball out wide by Merzugi. Kennel with the service to the edge of the 6. It's headed out by VCU. There's Sarver, the captain. But Loyola locking it in.
Just unlucky there. Loyola trying to possess the ball, get some good build out of it. But an errant pass for the Greyhounds.
Here's Castro. And Loyola toe pokes that out. There's Anais Steffen, who has a goal on the season. Scored in that Princeton game, the first goal. And they certainly, Loyola has spread out the scoring, as we talked about at the top. 4 different players.
But it makes you a lot harder to defend because you don't know who's going to be dangerous in the box. You can't just focus on 1 or 2 players because there are lots of different players who can get involved. So I think a great sign for Loyola that they have had so many different options offensively that can deliver.
Terrazon who fed that in. Loyola's captain, Malia Terrazon, a junior out of California.
And an experienced player who's had a lot of minutes, a lot of opportunity to help lead this team. And I think you have to have a player like Malia Terrazon on your roster. Was 3rd on the team in assists last year. She's so good at facilitating, coming off of her best season.
Has an assist on the season. Check that. She's a senior this year. I'm still stuck in last year, apparently. Senior captain. Back down the right flank for the Rams. They've been successful over there. And Hurley dives in.
I thought that was some really good hold-up play, though, to wait to get numbers forward by VCU, not trying to force anything too quickly.
And Monse, once again, doing it all. Winning possession, using her body to shield appropriately. Here's Willis, who loves to dish from that back line.
It was a great idea by Willis, trying to work that ball through. Got deflected, but it will be Loyola ball. And we saw Zoe Willis do so much of that last year in terms of her ability to facilitate from the back with great through balls, with great understanding and instinct for where she needs to send the ball.
We're going to probably get a good shot at some point, but this is the biggest crowd I've seen in a long time. It's back to school day here on the campus, the beautiful evergreen campus of Loyola University in Baltimore, Maryland. I mean,
as it should be. I mean, this is an impressive crowd. Got a great game so far on hand.
Another delightful ball by Willis to Monse, who waiting for her teammates to catch up.
And I just love those smart plays where you have that good understanding. You don't want to squander the possession. You want to get something out of it. You don't have to force things. Sometimes the patient play is the much better play.
And that was a really good ball into Merzugi, who was trying to find Steffen on the header, but a little too close to the goalkeeper, Pongratz, and she is able to gather it up.
VCU continuing to do such a good job keeping this shape when you see it from this bird's eye view in terms of where players are positioned, giving those outlet options, keeping their spacing, helping to stretch this field out. They're using every bit of width that they have.
Charging down this right side. There's a service into the box. And Willis is there to clean things up. Here's Murzugi, who can use a little bit of her size with her back to the goal. Good target player.
It's such a luxury to have a player like Zoe Willis on your back line who's so reliable for those big tackles, those big stops. She really just sets the level of play, the tone for this team, and you have to have that type of player on your back line.
Of course, Willis, the senior defender out of Cary, North Carolina.
And this is, of course, the luxury for Loyola. They return so much defensively. They have new faces in the midfield. Another brilliant ball by Monse. She's been so active, whether she's been on the right side, whether she's been centrally located.
That's going to be a goal kick, but her on-ball defending is spectacular. She just doesn't lose possession as we look at number 9 there. That's Brianna Lawrence, the 5'6" junior in the 9 jersey for the Rams. On this near side, teaming with Castro and Sarver.
And we've already seen her heroics today and that speed on display. She's such a good target up top because of the speed.
Willis mistakenly gave up on that ball. Sarver in the box. And the offside flag is up. And so maybe Zoe saw the flag before I did. Of course, Monica and I, 6 stories high.
It is not always the first thing that we see when we are focused on the field. But once again, though, some very good intentional play by VCU building into the offensive third of the field. It has just been a smart game so far played by the Rams. And it was really interesting because when we talked with Lauren Hutchinson, she told us that one thing that she was really pleased with is, you know, they've had some good scouts. The team has been really prepared coming into the game, but some of the question marks had been on the execution.
Right.
And that's what they're looking to do. And I think so far today they've executed pretty well in terms of what that game plan has been that Lauren Hutchinson and her staff put together.
Right. So what she was talking about essentially is once they get possession here like this, they have struggled to execute through the thirds of the field. But they defend well. She's very happy with their defending. But it's the execution on the offensive end that needs work, just to calm down. And she said it's coming. And I think you're right. I think it did come in the second minute when they scored that goal.
We're seeing flashes of it. And again, it's a team that they're rebuilding. They're putting things together.
Monse with the service across the box. Great idea. Terrazon to cut back. And Loyola will get their first corner kick of the match. Terrazon. Beautifully done.
What a brilliant ball by Monse. The power she got on it to send it over. Perfect touch by the freshman. And this is huge for Loyola to get this set piece opportunity.
And it will be Terrazon to take it. Malia, captain's armband on her left bicep. Willis will make herself cozy with the goalkeeper, and the service is in. And right on the goal line. Nice save by Pongratz.
And that's what we've been hearing so much about for Mia Pongratz. The calm in the storm, so composed, so steady. Measured that the entire way. Great positioning by the VCU goalkeeper, only a junior. Getting her moments to shine this year.
I'm not sure we mentioned it, but it is a perfect night here. It might be in the high 70s. Isn't that crazy for August?
We do not usually get this August weather in the DC metro area, and it's perfect soccer weather. This is the weather that you love to play in.
This is the Baltimore area, right? Not the DC. That's so funny. We Baltimoreans have arguments with DC all the time about we're not a part of the DMV. Baltimore's separate. But anyway, I'm sure that the temperature is just the same. Just not much wind, but you know who I'm happy for are the players.
Absolutely.
You know, you and I have both gone through preseasons in August where it's just so hot. What a joy for them to be in August and have these kind of temps.
Well, and that's often you want these games late at night under the lights because you anticipate that weather is going to be really, really warm. But that's another reason I think we've got this great crowd on hand, because it is the perfect evening to come out and watch top-notch women's soccer.
Of course, the Greyhounds in the Patriot League, the VCU Rams out of the Atlantic 10. And since the second-minute goal, if you're just joining us, it was Jensen Linz in the second-minute assist by Isabel Franklin, the Marylander. And it has been quiet ever since. A lot of play in the midfield. I'd say the Greyhounds have picked up their attacking phase of play.
They have. They've certainly responded since that goal was scored. And you see Mulholland coming off her line to get the ball there. The right play by the Loyola goalkeeper. But I do like what we're seeing out of Loyola. They've been sending the ball forward. They've had some good connections up top with various players playing a lot down the right side. And once again, continuing over on the right.
Just the 20th minute, obviously tons of time to go, but remember, this team is winless, and it's got to hurt a little bit. You know they're coming in, and they're angry, they're hot, they're going to want that victory, and they certainly started off strong with that goal.
Well, and I think they don't feel like the score lines are reflective of the way that they've been playing, and sometimes that lights a fire under you because you feel like you have a lot to prove, and I think that's what we've been getting out of the Rams so far in this game. They've had a couple of unlucky plays, some errant passes, but on the whole, I think their possession has been very strong. They've been very intentional connecting with teammates.
Yeah, I think it was the Elon game. They outshot Elon like 20-4, and they still tied. So those are some of the stats you have to look at, like, hey, we dominated, let's just keep working.
They did, and I think the big thing on the stats was they held Elon to 4 shot opportunities. That tells you so much about this VCU defense. Great step again. Riley Kennel has had a lot of work to do over on her right side.
There's Renee Wanzer, who's played it back to Mulholland. Wanzer was playing quite a bit on that left flank last year. She's got good speed, but Coach Malia has brought her really in to that center back position alongside Willis, right now alongside McElderry. But he really likes his defensive, deep into the roster defensive backs.
And look at that run again by Kennel. She just set off going, hoping for that ball forward. Zoe Willis trying to get it to her. I like that connection between those two, looking to advance the ball forward.
It's such a smart move. When I was coaching, I would always send my wing backs forward because oftentimes they're just not tracked, because most forwards don't like to play defense, right? Unlike Savannah Monse, who does like to play defense.
To me, all the young forwards in the country need to be watching Monse right now, because every position on the field is integral in the defense. No one can take those defensive plays off. And so I love to see what she's doing in that defensive tone that she's setting from the top. Some good work there by Kennel. I've been really impressed with her. She has had a lot of work to do defensively. She's been very active offensively, has created opportunities with her throws. She really has that complete game.
Here's McElderry, the junior midfielder out of Austin, Texas. Really good with the ball at her feet. So when you see her drop to that back line, don't be surprised if one of the wing backs is moving forward.
It was Lawrence with the nice defensive play there.
Good work right there by Ishpreen Marwa in the 11 jersey for the Rams. Here she is on this near side. She's everywhere. Marwa, the junior defender, just 4'11" out of Tampa, Florida. It's not always about the size of the player, right? It's about the size of the spirit.
That's exactly right, because you see a lot of those players, they play in those outside back spots. They're so tenacious defensively.
'26th minute. It was a second-minute goal by Jensen Linz of the VCU Rams, and that's where we are right now, 1-0. And we have some subs finally to talk about, 3 of them, in fact, for the Greyhounds. Number 3, Malone Kristen, the junior, 5'6", out of Rome, Georgia, checks in. Taryn Buckley also checks in for Malia Terrazon. And Reagan Malia checks in for Anis Stefan. That's right, you heard that right, Monica. Of course, you already knew Reagan Malia, Joe Malia's daughter.
At number 18, Taryn
These are really all subs that we were expecting, and Malone Christian really gives that spark, whether she starts, whether she comes in off the bench, and I think that's what they're looking for her to do right now with the remaining 18 or so minutes left in this first half. She has that great work rate, really gives you everything that she has. She's a gritty player out on the field, and we were certainly anticipating, even though they're limiting her minutes, that we were going to see her fairly early on. And we've already talked about one of the freshman phenoms, Taryn Buckley. She's another one to keep your eyes on.
Right, the ball was just at her feet. Taryn Buckley already has a goal on the season. The freshman, 5'7", out of Ontario, Canada. Taryn Buckley bringing some speed off the bench.
It's important to have those players, too, that give you the spark, that come in.
Lovely turn by Mounsey. She's in the box, and she serves it across the middle, but unable to catch up to it was Malone Kristen. The Greyhounds still on the ball. Great opportunity there.
But that is the second phenomenal service across the mouth of the goal by Monsey. Again, I love what she's doing. It's unselfish. She has such a good awareness of where she is on the field. She didn't have the angle to create a shot for herself. She sends it across the mouth of the goal, trying to create for a teammate. I said it at the top of the game. I'll say it again. I think she's going to be really special for Loyola.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Of course, Coach Malia, in his 7th year, the second time around, the winningest head coach here at Loyola. He's putting together a special season so far.
Well, it's interesting, right, because you hear coaches talk about these players, you see the stat line, but then you see them play on the field, and you understand what all the hype is about, because it's not just about the goal scoring and what you do offensively. It's about the entire picture, and we've talked about it. The thing that stood out to us the most isn't the offense, it's the defense.
Thrown for the Rams. Here's Nguyen. You mentioned has a personal connection to you, Monica. Tell us about it.
Yeah, she comes from the Fairfax area, close to where I live. Her younger sister, very well-known player, plays on one of the younger national teams, plays at Stanford. Lots of kids in the area really look up to her.
Watch out. Here comes Monsey. One more. Could she do it all herself? Monsey! Wide left. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Just missed by centimeters. It felt like the angle that she created. Take a look on this replay. Just a great touch. The change of direction. Centimeters away. You don't need us to tell you that she is special. You can see it on the screen. And the work rate is just off the charts. The best chance that Loyola has had on the evening so far. And no surprise she's involved.
Yeah, Loyola with 2 shots, VCU with just 1. But guess what? That 1 shot went in. 2nd minute. Here comes Monsey once more.
Some good defense there by Castro, just pushing her off the ball. Steady play by the veteran.
There's Peyton Hurley poking it out, throwing for the Rams.
And one thing I really like about what we've seen from VCU is how quick they are on the counters. And I think that's one thing that Loyola needs to take note of, because VCU has been at their most dangerous on the quick counters. That's how they scored. And Loyola's going to have to tighten that up and be really ready for that, because the Rams are hungry for another one.
Yep. We mentioned the Rams looking for their first win. Their head coach in her first year looking for her first win.
Really good sustained possession here for Loyola, but that pass into traffic probably would have been better served to go over to Zoe Willis with the first opportunity.
But one back by Ella Moss, number 6. For the Greyhounds, the junior midfield out of Delray Beach, Florida. That's the rule. You give it up, you better go get it back, and she did just that. Wouldn't be surprised to start seeing 2 black jerseys around number 23 for the Greyhounds soon.
Very difficult to contain her. You see how well she uses her body to create space, looking to win the corner.
And the second corner kick of the match to the Greyhounds, none for the Rams. And from this side of the field, will it be, Terrazon actually isn't on the pitch, so let's see who, it looks like it's going to be Ella Moss.
And Jamie, it's been the play of Monse that has won both of these corner opportunities for Loyola. That does not show up in the stat sheet, but that is huge.
It's Reagan Malia, forgive me, head coach Joe Malia's daughter, to take the corner kick from this near side. And it will be a right-footed outswinger. I'd like to see this one at the 6-yard box. The last one went right to the keeper. Take it outside the 6. And she did just that, went to the PK spot, and it's cleared. No runner there, sadly.
No, she heard you, Jamie. So she, I think, had watched and seen what had happened on that first opportunity, which was a bit of a wasted opportunity for Loyola as it went straight to the goalkeeper. So she tried to create something different. There was no one there, but I love the thought process on that ball.
There you see Reagan on the ball. She's in the 5 jersey for the Hounds. She has made multiple stops.
And once again, you see VCU, they switch sides of the field. The point of attack changes. It is so well done. It is so smart. It is difficult to defend. It creates all this space. You see all this space out on the field for players to operate in.
Castro plays it into Zoe Willis. She's part of the brick wall back there. It's not where you want to go.
I think that's right. You want to go as far away from her as possible.
Merzugi wins that. And the Greyhounds have been very good in possession. They were against Princeton. They were outshot quite a bit in that match, but they still came away with the victory 2-1. And head coach Joe Malia said, look, we've got a lot of confidence from that, and that is something you can ride.
Well, as they should. That is a big win. We talked about it, really a marquee win for Loyola. Another nice idea by Kennel. I think you're going to continue to see this connection, this Zoe Willis to Riley Kennel to Savannah Monse, just up this right side. So much of the offense has come from that line of attack on the evening.
Stella Castro, the senior defender, showing why she's one of the best players on that back line for the Rams. That'll be a goal kick.
I've been impressed with her. Lauren Hutchinson calls her the quiet one, but she's definitely loud in terms of her actions on the field. She's such a leader with her actions. Really like what we've seen out of her. It's nothing flashy. It's just really smart, well-executed soccer.
It's interesting that head coach Hutchinson has decided not to try to build out of the back. Like every goal kick is a punt to the 50, which, you know, results in a 50-50 ball, which is why so many teams love to build out of the back, because you can retain possession, but I guess she doesn't feel like they're quite there yet.
The risk, of course, are the turnovers, the quick shots in your defensive third.
Sort of eliminates the press.
So another foul there.
Buckley called for that foul, and it's like the backup goalkeeper steps up, and she's going to get a yellow card. Not the backup, or is it the backup goalkeeper? Yep, it is. Number 1. That's Amira Mamry, booked on the bench. As we watch the replay here, what do you see, Monica?
So you see there is the foul is called, and then both players just trying to get to their feet. I don't think anything extracurricular there, but perhaps something was said. We can't really see it. Credit to the officials. They were all over it very quickly. It's a young player, I think, in the excitement of the game. Really, 2 young players there, two first years.
Yep, the freshman goalkeeper, Amira Mamry, booked with the yellow card there. And our lead official referee, Catherine Koenig, she touches her there. Buckley doesn't appreciate the touch and lets her know about it. Silly stuff.
And not the opportunity there that VCU wanted. And I think that may be one thing that they talk about in the locker room at halftime. There have been a couple of these unforced errors, these turnovers, these giveaways, that they just want to keep tightening those things up as they start looking towards A10 play. That's going to be really important for them. That's a tough conference that they play in. And so that's one of the things that they're just going to have to continue to work on in terms of those lapses of focus that lead to those unforced turnovers.
Yeah, picked to finish 8th in the A10. Loyola picked 5th. But a lot of coaches don't pay much attention to those polls based on the previous year's performance. And VCU graduated 14. Whew. Really graduated a good chunk of their roster. And I agree with that. I don't think that you can tell that much from those polls because you don't know in terms of how players are going to come back, the talent that you're going to bring in. I mean, we've told you one of the biggest storylines in this game is the first years, and you never know how those players are going to come in, how they're going to adapt to the college game. All right, let's shout out the subs coming on. Number 13 and number 17. Number 17, we talked about the top. That's Fresky. Francesca Cacciatorians coming in. She scored the game winner against Princeton. And number 13, Carlin Costell, the sophomore midfielder out of Glenelg, Maryland.
Number 17, Francesca Cacciatorians.
And Fresky, of course, from California.
Really excited to see her coming off of her standout day. We've been talking a lot about sparks off the bench and how important it is to be able to provide that for your team. And they are certainly looking for that out of Cacciatorians. Would love to get that equalizer before the half with Loyola.
Great give and go down that right side by the Rams.
It's a little heavy on that ball. But the combination play up the right side for VCU has been really well executed, and that's what led to the goal too, was just that great passing forward.
There's Zoe Willis, who got in the way of that. Helped slow up that VCU attacker to seeing big Zoe Willis coming over. '38th minute. 7 minutes left in this first half, and surely getting an equalizer would be helpful for the Hounds.
That was a great ball forward, looking for Cacciatorians.
Fresky at 5'10" is a really good target player, tall target player. Easy to find from that back line.
Absolutely. And this is what we've been talking about, this sustained possession for Loyola, connecting on these passes, being patient, and sending these balls forward. Well off her line is Pongratz.
Yeah, that's no man's land right outside of the penalty area, but she does a nice job to get a knee on it. But goalkeepers don't want to be in that position very often. Such poise on the ball by Willis.
She's everywhere. And she, again, is just so composed on the ball, makes really good decisions, really sees how the offense can unfold. She's always thinking a couple plays ahead in terms of what she can create.
Now, being a target player, Fresky needs the ball at her feet. She's not the player that you can run the ball on like Monse. Throw in for the Rams. .4:15 to go, so we are already into that big five moment. Last five of the first half. Can Loyola get the equalizer, or will the Rams double their lead?
Good pressure by Loyola trying to force the turnover. And just again using every inch of space to stretch out this defense.
Well, I certainly have been impressed with Ishpreen Marwa, the junior, has been everywhere for the Rams.
We certainly expected that. She was a player that we had our eyes on coming into this game, and she's one of those speedy players that can really advance the ball forward. Nice play there by Buckley, being very active, showing you some of her speed.
Yeah.
And just her physicality, too, shielding the defender, understanding that that was Loyola's ball.
And here comes number 24. That's Kaylee Darby, the junior from Huntington, New York, by way of William Smith, a transfer. Coach Mallia saying we can put her anywhere on that back line or in the midfield.
And
Versatile.
frankly, these days, that's the type of player you have to be. You don't know where your team is going to need you to play, so you have to be able to play lots of different positions. You have to be able to be an offensive threat if needed. You have to be able to play strong defense, and that's a really high compliment from your head coach who really feels that you can play anywhere.
Long ball over the top to Fresky, just a little too far. Pongratz on it. Oh, almost trouble.
And not a lot on that ball.
That is poor execution trying to get out of the back. Can they make them pay? Well defended. Malone Kristen on it on that far side for the Hounds. And can they draw a corner kick? And they do, their third of the first half.
And that was about as unorganized as we've seen VCU on the day so far, back in their defensive third, allowing another chance here. Third corner kick for Loyola.
Yep, Mallia to take it. Reagan Mallia with the right foot. This time it'll be an in-swinger. Still like to see it outside the 6, the 12, the 18, any of those. This is the edge of the 6. Well done. But well won by the Rams.
That was well defended by VCU.
Renee Wanzer up on, defenders, they love to score. Put me on the front line, coach.
Yeah, she's certainly not showing any need to get back quickly to her defensive responsibilities.
And 1 minute left in this first half. Goal kick coming up for the Rams. It really started dominated by the Rams, but then Loyola started to get back into it. I'd say it's 60-40 possession in favor of the Rams, maybe even a little bit closer. What do you think?
I think it's a little closer now because I think Loyola, as the half has worn on, has started to possess the ball more. And I actually think they've had the better of it in terms of the chances that they've created. After that first chance, VCU has only had one strong chance. They found the back of the net.
Right.
I think Loyola has had 2 or 3, just have not yet been able to fully break down this defense.
Just 2 shots on the board for the Hounds, 1 for the Rams. Foul on Loyola there.
But I also think winning those 3 corner kicks, that's a great sign for Loyola. It's a great way for them to find an equalizer when we come back for the second half.
2-1,
And that'll do it for the first 45. 45 down, 45 to go. Your score here in Baltimore, Maryland, it's the VCU Rams 1, the Loyola Greyhounds 0. It was indeed a second-minute goal by Jensen Linz of the Rams, assisted by Marylander Isabel Franklin. Stay with us. When we come back, we will have highlights, but we're going to throw it to the Patriot League office for some women's soccer awards. We will be right back.
That's the end of the first half with the score Loyola 0, VCU 1. Ready for a snack or need a drink? Stop by the Parkhurst concession stand on the concourse level. Parkhurst Dining is a proud partner of Loyola Athletics and proud to serve the students of Loyola every day. We thank the Loyola Bookstore for all of their support. Stop by their new stadium location inside the main stadium gates in their new Mobile House Spirit store. They have all the Greyhounds gear to satisfy your favorite Greyhound. Jimmy's Famous Meals make life easier. Their gourmet, healthy, prepared meals are sure to please your family and friends. Enjoy shelf-prepared meals.
Hi, I'm Paige Messier in the Patriot League studio. Soccer teams all around the Patriot League are showing no rust from the offseason as we had several fantastic nominees this week. At number 3, Jack Lucas bends it around the wall and off the post.
It's Jack Lucas! It's off the post and in! Oh, that's sensational! A moment of utmost quality for the wingback! His second goal in as many matches! Lucas Magic strikes again in Lewisburg!
Coming in at number 2, Bridget Duffy steals it from a defender and fires a rocket to the upper 90.
And Duffy scores! Duffy, party of 12. Your tables are ready at the Hojos in Lake George. Army in front 2-0. From 25 yards, and there's nothing that Trishelle Lopez can do.
And at number 1 this week is easily one of the best soccer plays you'll see this year.
Raved about in our preseason chant. Gets it right back off a nice header. Endicott, come on! One 0 Hounds, and that was lovely.
There were numerous late game winners and fantastic saves around the league that could have made it, so be sure to follow us on social and use the hashtag PLTop3 to find all the great highlights. I'll see you back here next week. Boston U's path to a 5th Patriot League title had a thrilling finish last fall as the Terriers scored in the 109th minute to oust Army in the semifinals and advance to the title game, where Morgan Weaver scored in the 86th minute to force extra time. The title match went to PKs, and in the 10th round, Celia Braun made the diving stop to clinch their first championship since 2018. Hi, I'm Paige Mestier in the Patriot League studio. The Terriers welcome back several key contributors from last year's championship squad, and that's why you'll see a lot of red in the preseason awards. Boston U earned the top spot in the preseason coaches poll, scoring 80 points and 8 first-place votes. Army landed in second with 70 points and 2 first-place votes, while Bucknell, Navy, and Loyola round out the top 5. The Patriot League preseason Offensive Player of the Year is Boston U's Margie Porta. The senior forward scored the pivotal double overtime game winner in the Patriot League semifinals a year ago and finished with 8 goals on the season. She has 11 goals and 3 assists in her career as she enters her final year. The Patriot League preseason midfielder of the year is Boston U's Juliana Giannino. The senior had a stellar season in 2024, posting 8 goals and 5 assists for the Terriers. For her career, she has 18 goals, 10 assists, and 3 game winners, which includes her score off a corner kick in the 88th minute of a 3-2 win at Colgate last fall. The Patriot League preseason Defensive Player of the Year is Boston U's Helene Tiberzi. The senior defender helped lead the Terriers' defense to post a 0.89 goals against average in league play. Tiberzi played in all 21 games and landed on the All-League second team with a pair of assists. The Patriot League preseason Goalkeeper of the Year is Boston U's Bridget Carr. The sophomore netminder made numerous highlight reel saves in 2024 and finished with a 1.25 goals against average. She posted 3 clean sheets all during league play and went 6-2-6 overall in 15 games. All 4 Terriers landed on the Patriot League preseason All-League team. They are joined by the league's top returning goal scorer, Colgate's Ari Bezanson, who had 14 goals in 19 games. For more on the preseason Women's Soccer Awards, log on to PatriotLeague.com, and live games can be found on ESPN Plus all season long via the ESPN app and PatriotLeague.tv.
And welcome back to Baltimore, Maryland on the campus of Loyola University. Your score here, 1-0 with the VCU Rams on top. It was a second-minute goal by Jensen Linz early on, and then it was a whole lot of no scoring, but it was a competitive 45 minutes. Monica, anything jump out at you regarding the stats?
Well, I think time of possession, it was fairly even. That is what we expected after watching the first half. It was VCU who really took advantage in those opening moments, but after that, it became a little even, and then I thought Loyola ended the first half a little more composed. So let's take a look here. This was the magical moment, so well placed by Jensen Lenz. Really happy to see her on the end of that after she has been facilitating all season long for her teammates. And you see it was that brilliant counter quickly up the field. But Loyola would not remain quiet. They got some good opportunities in their offensive third. Savannah Monse doing such a good job battling, creating chances, winning corner kicks, crossing the ball forward, looking for teammates. She was so dynamic through the entirety of the first half. That was Loyola's best scoring chance. Things got a little heated as the first half progressed. The officials kept it under control, but it was a great first half of soccer.
Yeah, no question. Little chippy there, but controlled by the referee. You see the shots on goal, 1-1. I thought Loyola had 2 shots on goal, but either way, it's not been a lot happening on the attacking phase of play, but Loyola does have 3 corner kicks.
They do, and that's the stat that actually jumps out to me because I think that could be where Loyola can find a goal in the second half of the game. I think Monse was a great target. I think she was smart in winning those chances, and Loyola's going to be hungry coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, they're going to need to be to get the equalizer here. Possession was 52-48, so you were right about that, 50-50. Hey, this game is tight. It's even. Stay with us. When we come back, we will have your second half kick. You're watching. And welcome back to Ridley Athletic Complex, where VCU has a 1-0 lead after a second-minute goal by Jensen Linz. We are about to look at the second 45 on back-to-school night. We had our athletic director, Donna Woodruff, and the basketball coaches and lacrosse coaches pumping up the kids who are back to school tonight. It's a really good crowd.
It is. It's the perfect opportunity to come out and try to generate crowd support for all sports. I thought that was so well done. This is a massive crowd on hand. I love the atmosphere here at Ridley. And let me tell you, these fans have been in for a treat. I think this has been a fantastic game so far. It's been very even. Both teams have had some chances, but at the end of the day, it's mostly been a defensive game.
It really has. One thing you and I talked about at halftime, no subs for VCU during that first 45. Loyola had 6. So I feel like first-year head coach Lauren Hutchinson has got the winning taste in her mouth, and she is riding her starting 11. Not sure there are any subs. We'll let you know if there are to start this second half. If it's me, I keep going with them.
No, I think that's right, and I think that she's signaling she's very pleased with what she saw out of them. She didn't see a lot of adjustments that she needed to make, and sometimes it's nothing about the player, it's the matchup where you have to switch something up. But I think she has a lot of confidence in this group. Again, they're battle-tested. They took advantage of their one best opportunity, and it's put them in the driver's seat.
And we are indeed underway for the second half. VCU in the all-black unis moving left to right on your screen. If you're just joining us, the Greyhounds in the home whites with the evergreen numerals. As VCU, the Rams, trying to get another Big Five moment goal here in these first 5 minutes of this second half.
And that was Kira Connolly who was getting involved, helping to win possession for VCU. She's a big player for them. Could absolutely create some moments. So it looks like she has come in for VCU here in the second half.
That's right. For Tatum Chaldone, indeed, the first sub for VCU. In fact, let us read out who they are. Pongratz in goal. Linz up top. Pustover, number 8. Brianna Lawrence, number 9. Nguyen, number 10. Marwa, number 11. Sarver, 12. Franklin Isabel, number 13. And Jackson, I think, is new. Yes, number 14, Jasmine Jackson and Kira Conley. So that might be 2 subs coming in for VCU. Okay, so she started. Jasmine Jackson, thank you. Number 14 started. Monica.
Yeah, so that one sub, and so I think no surprise for Connolly, and she may be a player they're managing some minutes for right now too, but she is an absolute force out on the field.
And for the Greyhounds, as Terrazon with that left foot is going to cross it, but it's cleared.
It's another nice ball by Stella Castro. I think you can't minimize how important she is back there. I mean, she is outstanding with her composure.
And once again, here comes VCU in the box. And that was quite the grab by Zoe Willis. That might have been a little much, but the referee's not going to give a penalty kick there as Sarver, number 12.
But I love that crossing ball to feet. That was really well executed from VCU, and that's one thing I've really enjoyed seeing as we get another look here on this replay is just the technical skill. There was a little bit of contact there, and that was what the argument was from Kendall Sarver.
There's a good look at first-year head coach Lauren Hutchinson. She's played some of the best in CONCACAF, played for the senior women's national team for Trinidad and Tobago. She brings a wealth of experience coaching as well as playing. And there's a foul on the Greyhounds. It'll be a free kick.
We're certainly starting to get a little bit of a sense of her style of play, the way that she wants to see this team execute out on the field. Really love some of the choices that they've made, which I think have led to the success that we've seen out of the Rams so far. And an opportunity here
Yep, Ella Moss, by the way, on the pitch, as well as Reagan Malia, two different players than those starting. Here comes a yellow card. I believe that was for Coach Hutchinson to the sideline.
It was shown, so either to the head coach or to the sideline, but will still be
another booking there.
And a lot of contact going on the left side of the field. And once again,
yeah, that's not my favorite move there, to take a shot from that distance. The goalkeeper has the time of the flight of the ball to make any adjustments, but well over the crossbar there by Nguyen. And that is given as a shot, 2 shots apiece.
but once again, some extracurriculars going on in this game, and I think the officials are going to have to be really aware of that. Some tempers getting heated. I think some leftover stuff from that first half, in fact. And once again, the work rate. Oh my goodness, Monse.
Just can't say enough about Savannah Monse, the freshman out of Wilmington, North Carolina.
And it's really interesting. We saw her starting out the contest more over on the right side. Then she was more central. Now she's a little more left. Like, she really is this roving player who can be in so many different spots of the attack. And I think that's such a good thing, because it makes it difficult for you to be defended, because lots of different players have to step up and try to shut you down.
Here's Stefan on the ball for the Hounds. Back to Kennel. Back out to... Yeah, that is Marzugi charging the goalkeeper.
Really nice ball, though. Cleared out by Pongratz, showing you the foot skill as well as a goalkeeper, which is very important to have. It's not just the saves and the stops. You have to be good with your feet. And, of course, just the mental toughness, which is perhaps the most important characteristic of the job.
Good look at Captain Terrazon there. Malia Terrazon in the 21 jersey for the Greyhounds. The only captain.
Jamie, you and I talked a little bit about that at the start of, before the broadcast even started, actually, in terms of that. It's a lot of responsibility placed on your shoulders when you are the lone captain on the team, but she really is a player that has the ability to handle that. They have so much confidence in her. Her team really looks up to her. And one thing that we heard about her is she's someone who can lighten the moment, which I think is another really important thing to have in a captain, that you don't take everything so seriously. She can dish it out. She can take it. Really the entire skill set for Malia Terrazon.
On the other hand, VCU has 3 captains and 3 vice captains. So it's interesting to see how different head coaches go about. I never had any vice captains, just went with captains, but never a singular captain. It was always 2 or 3 for me.
Well, and it was fascinating hearing Lauren Hutchinson talk about that, because she said that when she had players express interest in wanting to be captain, she said, "Are you sure? Because I put a lot of responsibility on my captains. It is not an easy job. It's not something that everyone will want to do. You basically are the CEO of this team."
Marwa just dumps it in, or back to her goalkeeper.
Some good pressure by Stefan. I like how she closed out there to put pressure.
Of course, Greyhounds called for a foul on that far side. Free kick coming up for the Rams.
Looks like possible cramp there over on the far side of the field. As we talked about, these VCU players, they've played a lot of minutes so far in this game. But looks like there will be no substitution there.
Follow the Patriot League on social, on Instagram, X, YouTube, and LinkedIn, all under the handle @Patriot League. And for more Patriot League content, follow us on TikTok @Patriot League-T-V.
Another good ball off the foot of Stella Castro. And some more good sustained possession here from VCU.
Here's Pustover. Ava Pustover, the senior from Oakdale, Pennsylvania. Played a lot of minutes in this one.
This is just so well done in terms of the connected passes, the sustained possession. And we know that's been a point of emphasis, not turning the ball over.
Good battle between Wanzer and Franklin.
And VCU continued to look to try to win their first corner of the contest. They have yet to have one of those chances. Really well done by the back line for Loyola. They've been very smart in their defending.
Marwa been delivering passes all game long for VCU. There she is back on the ball. Good step by Peyton Hurley of the Hounds. VCU like playing a 3-back system, if that, sometimes mostly 2. They're getting numbers forward.
They are, but this style obviously really favors them right now. They're getting a lot of sustained possession. They're keeping the ball away from Loyola. They continue to shorten the game minute by minute. And if you have the ability to do that when you have the 1-0 lead, it can be very effective. More smart decision making by Kennel, the way she used her body to shield and maintain possession for Loyola.
This would be impressive. VCU, I don't believe they've had a lead yet this year, and so this would be the first time they've had to play with a lead. Can they hang on to it, or can Loyola find a way to get the equalizer?
Different type of pressure, right? To have to try to sustain a lead as opposed to finding an equalizer.
Yeah, the offside flag was up early on Merzugi. You know, forwards have to pay attention to the last defender. You can't, you know, of course, they're always taking every little inch, aren't they?
A little frustration there from Merzugi because she's been wanting to try to get that opportunity for Loyola to try to create up top. And again, the way that VCU has possessed the ball, there have not been a lot of chances so far in this second half for the Greyhounds. I think the VCU has done a really nice job playing these balls forward, finding players, these good target players who can create and generate. This is going to be another really good chance. They haven't had any corners, but this is going to be one of the best chances they've had.
Yeah, foul called on Peyton Hurley there. I don't personally agree with the call, but our lead official, Catherine Koenig, says indeed it is a foul to be a direct free kick from about 23 yards out. 3 in the wall for Loyola. They're going to have to back up. That is not nearly 10 yards. So you've got VCU showing a right foot and a left foot. It's me. I like the left foot. Marwen and Sarver on the ball for VCU. Marwen could curl that around the wall to the upper 90 on that left side, or she could come near side. We'll see. And it'll be the right foot of Sarver. Not much on that.
Not really the strike that they wanted out of that. And we've talked a little bit about this for VCU. This is really one of the things I think they will take away from this game. Some of these chances that they've had where they haven't exactly gotten what they've wanted, that will come. That's some of this process that they're working on as they're building and preparing for the A10 season, is how to get the most out of a chance like that.
And we've got a sub coming onto the pitch. Number 22, let's shout out her name. That's Vivian Vent, the junior midfielder from Bethesda, Maryland, out of Walter Johnson High School. 6 players from Maryland on this VCU roster.
You have to imagine they have a cheering section in the stands.
Vent, one of the goal scorers and a spark plug off the bench, scored in the 76th minute of their first game. Again, 2 ties, 2 losses.
Good pressure up top for Loyola. So important again for those players to challenge everything.
That's Jasmine Jackson, number 14 for.
It was a great thought in terms of the crossing ball. Just didn't push it out far enough to get it back into the field, but a nice idea by Jackson.
And that was a good look at Bridget Mulholland, by the way, who last year was the starting keeper, played in 19 games. And here comes Monse once more down this left flank. She selflessly serves it into the area, but it's headed out by Castro.
Just another really solid defensive play. Again, it's nothing flashy. And again, look at this build out of the back. Everyone advancing forward. They're switching sides. They're changing up the point of attack away from the pressure. So many teams pass the ball into the pressure. VCU passes it away from the pressure, and I've really enjoyed seeing that tonight.
Both teams playing a little of direct over-the-top balls, trying to find ways forward behind that back line. Marwa to throw for the Rams.
Well done again by Pustover.
.4'11", I love it. Marwa. A couple subs for the Greyhounds, 2 of them, in fact. Number 16 for one.
And entering the match, number 16, Nevaeh Vick.
Nevaeh Vick is number 16. Malone Kristen, number 3. Nevaeh getting her first minutes tonight. The sophomore from Abingdon, Maryland, out of Edgewood High School.
And no surprise, I think, that just about 15 minutes in, we're seeing more subs from Loyola. I did not expect for them to deviate from that plan. They're really trying to keep fresh feet out on the field, changing up matchups.
Here comes Monse once more, just to the edge of the box, rolls it right in front of the goal mouth, but it's cleared by the Rams.
But another dangerous ball by Monse. She has created and generated some really good chances for Loyola.
That clearance by Brianna Lawrence of the Rams, and that foul will be given. And Loyola will have a free kick. Stefan doing a nice job drawing that foul.
This is a good chance for Loyola. We just saw one of these chances for VCU, and they weren't able to make anything of it, but just Stefan going aggressively towards the ball, draws the contact. It will go against Sarver.
Sarver out of Eldersburg, Maryland, went to Liberty High School. I'm sure her family and friends are here. It's Merzugi to take the kick, and she is a lefty, so call it an in-swinger. Again, I'd look for the 6, the 12, near post, far post. Good service. And just unable to catch up to it. Nobody home on that far post.
That's unlucky because I agree with you. I think that was a well-served ball for Loyola, placed into a position where players could get to it, but it will be a corner, the fourth one of the day for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, we missed any touch by the Rams, but indeed it will be the first corner kick of the second half, fourth in total. And to take it, again, it's Merzugi. Right-footed to the edge of the 6, right where you wanted some chaos.
It's really well done.
Another corner kick is given, the 5th of the match. You really don't want to give too many of these up.
Fantastic service by Merzugi. Lots of players around.
Oh, check that, it's Malia. Number 5, Reagan Malia, now to the far post. Oh, nice save by Pongratz, comes up big there.
I love what Malia did there, though, because switching up what she did, she went near post on the first chance. This time she goes far post. She had 2 great targets there. That's a brilliant stop.
Guess who? Monse, once again, she's not afraid to head the ball either, and I love that.
We definitely have to give some credit to Pongratz because that's a big stop for the VCU goalkeeper. Those are difficult plays to make. You don't know where that ball's going. There's lots of different options. You really have to have your head on that swivel, that great reaction time. That's a big time stop by Pongratz.
Yeah, she was in the right place. She moved her feet to cut down that angle. She was on that far post. Now the Rams making their way forward.
And frankly, you need your goalkeeper to be able to make 1 or 2 big stops like that. That is a big play for Pongratz, who has gotten trial by fire this year. She's been under pressure.
And that's a great play by Mulholland to come off of her line just in time to grab that. You like to see that decision making from her.
And Jasmine Jackson, very dangerous, pressuring, making that run forward, putting herself in a dangerous position to potentially score for VCU.
Here comes Monse once more in the penalty area. The shot is blocked. I should say the cross is blocked, and that is over the byline. Goal kick coming out for the Rams. And another substitute for the Hounds. This time it's number 12, McElderry, the junior midfielder out of Austin, Texas, by way of Samford. Played 2 years there. As we get a good look at Monse there in the 23 jersey. Not sure what happened to her left arm. Don't have anything to report on that, but it's not affecting her play.
No, and again, her technical skill, her first touches with the ball that allow her to advance the ball up the field so quickly. She has good speed, great technique.
Yep, good ball out wide. Good thought by Merzugi, but it's intercepted.
But that's, again, what has been the Achilles heel for VCU at times. They get possession, they turn it over. Here they actually maintain the possession, they get it back. But they do all the hard work, and you want to be able to keep that possession.
Oh, goalkeeper up. This is trouble. Monse! Oh, off the head to the far post, just wide right, but
look, she continues to be so dangerous. This is so well done by Loyola. Great pressure up top by Malone Kristen, and none other than Monse, who has been so dynamic. Every good chance that Loyola has had, it feels like she has been involved in some way, and that says so much about the young player.
Nevaeh Vick getting some minutes in the center back position next to Zoe Willis.
And again, Malone Kristen, I just love the effort, the all-out effort that you get from her. She is so active out on the pitch. Unlucky there with the missed connection from Peyton Hurley.
Patriot League is live on ESPN Plus all season long. Download the ESPN app or go to patriotleague.tv. Welcome into everybody who is watching on ESPN Plus. It was a second-minute goal by the Rams, Jensen Linz, and we haven't seen a score yet on either side. It's been really tight, 3 shots apiece for each side. The Greyhounds obviously trying to get the equalizer, keep that winning streak alive. They've won 3 in a row, looking for number 4. VCU looking for their very first win.
Connolly has been a force since coming in the second half, number 29 in black. She's been very active for VCU. Keep your eyes on her in the middle of the field.
And once again, another sub for the Hounds, as they have been wont to do. Carlin Costell, the sophomore out of Glen Elg, checks in. And VCU has a rare substitute. And of course, we know number 13, Isabel Franklin, has the assist on that Jensen Linz goal and really made the play happen. Isabel Franklin.
Yeah, I loved her composure in the final third of the field. Got knocked off the ball, was able to regain her footing, hold up the play until Lenz was in a great spot to capitalize on that goal. And the placement of that ball by Jensen Lenz, so well done. Went for the corner. Very difficult for any goalkeeper to stop. And that is how we've gotten to this point.
Yeah, it was a first-time touch by Linz. High degree of difficulty, and she made it count. There's another shot from distance, but wide left. One of your captains, Kendall Sarver. The other, Jordan Hall. And the third captain, who you have mentioned, is Kira Conley. And another sub, number 24 for the Greyhounds. Kaylee Darby, the junior out of Huntington, New York.
We'll see her over on the left side, at least right now. As we talked about, she has that great versatility, so may see her in different spots as this game continues to progress.
I tell you, these fans here, biggest crowd I've seen in a while on back-to-school day here at Loyola. They are just on the edge of their seats waiting for a goal by the Greyhounds.
But you wonder if the style of play for VCU, where they possess the ball, they shorten the game, run a little bit of clock, if that favors VCU right now.
Here comes some high pressure once again. Montse called for the foul. I didn't see much there.
I'm not mad about it. I love that pressure, the high pressure, the constant activity, never taking a play off.
Right, goalkeeper's out of the box, but you know how referees tend to like to protect those goalkeepers, but out of the box, fair game.
And good pressure again. And this is what Loyola has to do. They have to pressure every ball. They really can't allow VCU to continually possess. They have to force the issue. They have to regain possession. They have to try to create, because time's starting to tick away here. So now a good chance for Loyola with some sustained possession.
Almost caught up there, the Hounds, as we're going to have a couple more subs. Stefan unable to catch up to that, and, or is that? Taryn Buckley, I should say.
Francesca Cacciatorians at number 18, Taryn Buckley.
Taryn Buckley and Francesca Cacciatorians check into the game as Coach Joe Malia keeping fresh legs on the pitch for the Greyhounds.
And some instant offense, right? These are players who can score goals. They have scored goals, and this is what Loyola needs right now. So, look, I think that these were intended substitutions. I think this was the game plan right from the very beginning. But it certainly helps when you have players like Buckley and Cacciatorians who can come in off the bench to give a different look, to change things up, to switch up a matchup, and to be those great targets up top.
Kira McCluskey checks in for VCU as Jasmine Jackson comes off. Kira McCluskey, the sophomore from Vienna, Virginia, from James Madison High School. It is across, but cleared. VCU has been so good about clearing any crosses that come into the box.
And they've had good defensive positioning. They've shifted as a unit so that there haven't been these big gaps, so they have been able to close in quickly on these crossing balls.
Here's Stefan once more, but the offside flag is up. Stefan and Buckley up top give you some of the speed that might be necessary to get in behind that back line that's been so good.
And again, I think that's part of the game plan right now is, can Loyola send some balls forward, exploit their speed?
First-year coach Lauren Hutchinson saying, executing the game plan under pressure is what we need to do. And I'd say so far, so good.
So far, so good, but that pressure building and building as you get closer and closer to your intended goal. So the question for VCU, can they hang on? They've not had a lot of lapses of focus on the defensive end of the field. There was that one really unorganized moment that we saw that I believe led to a corner kick for Loyola.
Both teams not settled.
But again, I really like seeing how comfortable that VCU is with the ball, how composed they are with their possession. Their heads are up, they're looking to work the ball around. The ball does not stay in one spot for very long, and they continue to use the entire width of the field, just stretching things out.
It's a handball. And it clearly seen by our official.
Good look there at the VCU sideline. You see how engaged the players on the bench are, how invested they are.
I like Coach has a notepad and pen in her hand, like
Coach
Bill Belichick.
Very active, has been moving,
yes,
working all along the sideline. Perhaps no one working harder than Lauren Hutchinson.
Right. She has not sat down. No one has. Kind of like that. Maybe they said, let's not sit until we get our first win. So 17 minutes to go. Time ticking on the Greyhounds. It's interesting because when they played Princeton, it was sort of the reverse. Princeton had so many shots, but they just couldn't put it away. Here comes the Greyhounds once more. Stefan and Pongratz off her line to pick that up.
But just more great defense, composed defense, not doing too much, not committing the foul. Just steady play by this back line for VCU. And as great as the goal was for the Rams, and that was a great way for them to start out, I think the biggest storyline has been this back line that has had this composure, because after the goal, I think Loyola has had the better of the attacking chances, but the back line has been so strong for most of the contest for the Rams.
Fresky trying to play that down to Stefan, but you can't keep sending your wing on 50-yard runs, 30-yard runs down. It's got to play a little bit to feet. And
a bit of a dangerous play there.
Marwa gives that up. Kennel. There's a right-footed shot, and well played by Pongratz, but I like the shot.
Absolutely. This is what you have to do right now, because perhaps you get a rebound chance. Perhaps it goes in the back of the net.
You never know.
You never know.
But it was on frame, shot by McElderry. Now it's 4 shots apiece from each side.
But certainly time becoming of the essence for Loyola. They need that urgency. They need to win back possession. It's really all out effort defensively to try to possess the ball as much as you possibly can.
Unfortunately, Zoe Willis able to handle that misplay by Hurley.
Yeah, well, she's so physical. She's so good with her body in terms of shielding people off the ball. And again, you just see this great shape, this great spacing. It's so well executed. It's just tic-tac-toe passing all over the field. And again, when you have that 1-0 lead and you're trying to hold on to it, this can be a luxury in terms of your game management.
"14 minutes to go. Can the Greyhounds get a late goal to get the equalizer here?" Beautiful pass, Buckley to Steffen. Steffen on the move, charging towards the 18. And another clearance by VCU. They've done well.
And what's so impressive about that play from the VCU defense is it's a team play, right? You have one player who's containing the player with the ball, another player swooping in to make the final tackle, and an army of subs coming into the game for Loyola.
Right, and that was Brianna Lawrence once again on that back line, clearing that ball for VCU. And we will shout out this army of subs to you in a second. That's a good look at Reagan Malia's number 5 jersey.
Yeah, I will say I think Brianna Lawrence has been exceptional in this contest for the Rams.
Hurley with the throw-in, and then she'll cross it, but Pongrant's right there. Not too much trouble.
Really no dangerous runners.
Substitution. Asma Merzugi is in. Reagan Malia is in. Ella Moss, Renee Wanzer, and Savannah Monse back on the pitch for the final 13. There's a ball at her feet right now. To the right side, unselfish play. And here's a service to Terrazon and a header. I'm sorry, Merzugi with the header, but unfortunately right into the arms of Pongrantz.
But so well done by Loyola. I love the unselfish play, the recognition. There's a defender right in front of you. What are you going to do with the ball? Instead, you play it to a teammate who has an opportunity to generate for the team. So many young players do not have that IQ. They don't make that play. They force the play. Very impressed, and it results in a chance for Loyola.
Yep. We mentioned this at the top. Loyola's never beaten VCU. And I thought this might be the year with the number of graduations from VCU, first-year head coach, just hired in February of 25. And she has just been doing it all. Lauren Hutchinson.
Well, when you talk to her on the phone, as we did, you sense the level of investment, the level of enthusiasm, how much pride she has in this team, how much she wants to help them be successful. It just comes out. But the thing that comes out the most is her love of the game and her love of the team.
Thought there might be something there, but Pongrantz on it as well. Lauren Hutchinson quoted as saying, "This is my homecoming." Remember, she's an alum, and I'm here to make it count. Well, this could be, if this result holds, this could very well be her making it count. Oh, by the way, she has a UEFA B license. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest storyline for VCU is Lauren Hutchinson coming home, taking over this team. Her coaching staff, they all have VCU connections.
And the first corner kick. Oh, no, goal kick. I thought it went off of
I
Loyola.
thought that was the intention, that they were really looking to win that corner kick. So it was a nice idea by Lenz, who's been fantastic on the evening. But it will be a goal kick coming up for the Hounds.
Onto the pitch for the Rams. Number 20, Jordan Hall, the senior defender from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
No one a bigger competitor than Jordan Hall, and Coach Hutchinson telling us she is the pickleball champion
Right.
of this team from the team pickleball tournament. She really was a standout. Great play again by Monse. Look at that ball forward to her fellow freshman.
Buckley on it, on this near side, just inside the touchline. Taryn Buckley, the freshman, back to Monse, the other freshman. And Wanzer just tosses it into the middle.
But she had players over. She had options to try to generate there. That was not a bad idea.
Kennel with the foul over on that far side. Free kick coming up for the Rams. 10 minutes to go in this one. Can the Rams hold on for their first win of the season?
I will say they've looked very composed in this second half. We have not seen as many of the mistakes as we saw in the first half. The errant balls, the unforced errors, the defensive instability at times. And it feels like they're just playing with a lot of confidence right now, which is important as you look to close out a game.
The ball over the top. Hurley's got her hands full. Good job keeping it in play.
It's a great tackle there. Fantastic defensive work by Loyola.
Number 7, Jensen Lin, has really been the player of the match for me. She's the one who scored the goal. As it stands right now, if it holds, would be the game winner.
I think she's been fantastic. I think that defensive back line for VCU has also been fantastic. You know, I'm a big Stella Castro fan. I think Lawrence has been really good.
Lynn's from Bellevue, Washington. Some West Coast soccer. There's a shot on goal over the head, and it's good! VCU doubles their lead, 2-0.
Hey.
They beat Mulholland over the top.
Wonder strike of a goal for the Rams, who I thought were in containment mode, but instead looking for some insurance. A brilliantly struck ball to the upper 90.
Number 2, Kira McCluskey out of Vienna, Virginia. You can hear probably her friends and family standing up and cheering for that second goal for the Rams.
And it's interesting because we talked about the lack of substitutions in the first half, and then all of a sudden you see VCU making some intentional changes here and there, and you end up making a substitution change that results in your second goal, a little bit of insurance, and a whole lot of momentum for the Rams.
VCU substitutions. Number 20.
That ball was so well placed, and I think that that's the one thing that is the theme of these goals that have been scored by VCU. They've placed the ball well.
And again, Loyola's been great at serving balls into the penalty area, but VCU just that much better at clearing.
VCU goal scored by number 2.
A foul has been given. It may have been a handball. And so Loyola is going to get an opportunity for a free kick about, I'd say, 22 yards away. Good opportunity here for the Hounds to get one back. Who knows? Anything can happen. That's Merzugi on the ball. And Reagan Malia comes over to join her, offer some deception. And it's going to be a left-footed shot. Oh, parried over the bar by Mia Pongratz. Corner kick coming up for the Greyhounds.
Had a lot of good power on it, which is why Pongratz decided that she was just going to tip it over. She wasn't taking any chances. I think that's what she decided with that play. She would instead give up the corner.
It's a right-footed ball to the far post, punched out by Pongratz. And Wanzer battling Mulholland all the way up.
And I like that play by Mulholland. They need numbers forward. They need to try to keep the ball in their offensive third. That was the right play by the Loyola goalkeeper. But, Jamie, when we're listing off players who we really felt like for VCU, big contributors in the score line right now, and I think Pongratz definitely is one you have to mention because she has made a couple of really nice stops. You think about the header earlier from Monse where she's in the right position.
And this one handled easily by Mulholland. Ball tossed in by Linz.
Just Monse will not take a play off. She's physical. She's focused. And getting the worst of it there.
The foul was given, so
pushed
free
over.
Kick. Yep. It's a good look at Savannah. Hasn't found the back of the net in the last 2 games. But 3 goals and 1 assist on the season for the young freshman.
And really a credit here to VCU because I think they've possessed the ball more in this second half. They've been very intentional with their chances. They've been very organized. And I think that was the question. Would they falter in this second half with that 1-0 lead? And so far, they have looked very strong.
Good ball through from Merzugi. But Moss has it taken away by the pesky Marwa, who has been everywhere on the pitch for VCU. Love to watch her play.
Trying to use that speed up top, those 2 freshmen.
The future is bright, no doubt, for the Greyhounds.
It
Montse,
absolutely
Buckley,
is.
They really can play.
They can play, they can score. I think the IQ is so high for their age. And speaking of dynamic players, we have been very impressed coming into this contest. McCluskey.
And we're going to see a sub for VCU. Number 5, Jess Gottschall, the freshman from Odenton, Maryland, from Arundel High School. She probably got some friends and family in the stands. Coach Hutchinson getting her some minutes. Pongratz comes out for that one. Still 4 minutes, 28 seconds to kill this game, and it certainly is an art that you have to learn.
It is, and I think the whole half, frankly, has been well managed by the Rams. We've talked a lot about that in terms of the clock management, how intentional they've been with all of their possessions, how hard they've worked to stretch out this field so that they can have those sustained possessions. And it just feels like the confidence just continuing and continuing to grow for VCU.
Marwa with the throw.
Well done by Malone Kristen. She just stands out so much when she's on the field with the work rate.
Look at Marwa. Again, just everywhere.
Talk
in the
about
11
work
jersey.
rate.
Yeah, work rate. Just a workhorse.
And Castro, again, just all over the place.
Thought that might be a corner, but not to be. Castro does her job, gives up the goal kick.
She has really managed that defense so well today, Stella Castro.
Next up for the Rams, they get Navy at home on September 4th at 7 p.m. They've played American and they've played Loyola. They like the Patriot League.
They do. They have really tested the Patriot League.
And the Greyhounds will have 7 days off. Joe Malia talked about that. They really will have some time to work and dig into some things. September 6th at Hofstra, they head up to Hempstead for a 1 p.m. kickoff on Saturday.
And I think that's exciting for Loyola that they will have that time where they can look at some things that they've uncovered in these opening matches that they've had. You don't get a lot of chances to do that once the season starts. So that will be a good opportunity for the Greyhounds before they really get into the thick of the season.
So if you're just joining us, VCU in the 2nd minute with Linz, 82nd minute with McCluskey. That makes 5 different goal scorers for VCU on the year. Certainly will make Coach Hutchinson happy.
What certainly seems like something for both of these two teams, really going to score by committee.
Oh, well played defensively. For a moment there, I thought Buckley was on to something, but again, just a really terrific, stellar defensive evening for
I
Rams.
think if I had to pick player of the game, I think I'd give it to the whole back line. I think they have been outstanding for VCU. And as frustrating as that is.
Well played by Nevaeh Vick. Getting a lot of minutes here late in this game.
For Gottschall, though, she runs some time off this clock. That's good game management. I know she wanted an opportunity, but she gets the next best thing.
All right, winding down. Just about a minute left in this one. And if this result holds, it will be 4 wins and 0 losses for the Rams against the Greyhounds. They got their number.
Well, and I think for VCU, more importantly, they get their first win of the season if this result holds. And it feels like they're starting to figure some things out. And I think from the perspective of the coaching staff, that's what's really exciting, is they're starting to see all those seeds that they've planted. They're starting to see the returns from that. And it's looking like it's going to shape up to be a really exciting year for the Rams.
Final 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And that'll do it. Your final score here from Ridley Athletic Complex in Baltimore, Maryland. VCU 2. And the Loyola Greyhounds shut out. A clean sheet for the Rams. It was the second-minute goal by Jensen Linz. And then again, that player right there, number 2, in the 82nd minute. And there it is. Coach Lauren Hutchinson, congratulations. She gets the Gatorade treatment. And our camera crew right on it, of course. Her first win, the VCU alum. And it was coming. It was building. They came in hot tonight. And they get the victory. 2-0 there. McCluskey, the game winner, goes to Linz. Monica, your thoughts real quick.
You know, first of all, for Loyola, I know not the result they wanted, but they were coming off that big win against Princeton. It's still a great start to the season for the Greyhounds. They have so much to be excited about. Those 2 freshmen, I'm telling you, Jamie, I can't wait to see their evolution. But it was VCU's day. It started with the game plan. They got some execution. Look, it was a heated battle on the field all evening long, but an outstanding win for the Rams.
Awesome. Monica, thank you so much. We need to say thanks to Trey Hammer, Zach McClung, Corey Matthews, my partner Monica Moore, Mitch Nazimak, Talia Dixon, Jay Mann, Kevin Hernandez, Matt Stovall, Patrick Say, Garrett Cooper, and of course Gerard Richardson. Thank you, Ryan Eigenbrode, Jonathan Yanko, and from VCU, Julia Gardner. I'm Jamie Watson. And saying so long from Baltimore, Maryland, your final score, VCU 2, Loyola 0.